Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your Chelsea versus Wolves Premier League preview on this fine Friday. I hope all of you guys are doing well. Hope you've had a great start to your weekend or whatever you're getting up to this weekend. Enjoy yourselves. And hopefully, I'm praying, right? After Carabao, after the 2-2 draw, I'm just hoping that we go into another international break and we have got something to look forward to, something to be happy about, because let me remind you, last time, October internationals, honestly, these international breaks do my head in. You know, every time August comes, we get, September straight away, take me out of the football. October, another one. Just wait the microphone. November comes, I'm like, can we stop this? All right, England are qualified for the World Cup. I've got nothing to care about here. I do get it, don't worry, I just don't like it. If we beat Wolves, we can have another delightful international break. The Liverpool one was beautiful. I actually enjoyed it. It felt like we had a holiday, and it was Esteval Willian who's that goal just kept ringing through my ears. And this one has got the potential, right, to be a disaster, doesn't it? Because Carabao is kind of like, there's a nail in one side of the coffin. If we don't beat Wolves, oh my word. This is going to be a serious problem, isn't it? Because the conversation that I had in yesterday's video with you guys, thank you for watching that video. Check it out if you haven't already done so. The conversation I've had is about the inconsistencies, right? It's about how often Chelsea can show up for one game, not show up for the next game, or show up for the first half, not the second, or vice versa. I want to see us go for the kill, and Wolves is a perfect opportunity to be able to do that because they're bottom of the Premier League table, okay? We were 3-0 up inside the first half at the Molineux, and then we decided we didn't want to play anymore. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we've got to stop doing. They've got 2 points from their first 10 games in the Premier League. Vitor Pereira has been sacked. If we don't beat this team at Stamford Bridge, then we need to be checked. We need to go for scans. We need to make sure that everybody is human. There's no excuses on planet Earth that I can give, that I can expect, anticipate, understand, and deal with. I cannot expect. We have to win. We simply have to win. My brain can't take it. At the end of the Carabao game, I was looking at Eunice thinking, I don't know how to talk about this team anymore because the Tottenham game is all about emotion. It's about looking at every single individual and being like, well, you showed up, that was energy. We didn't leave anything out there. We outplayed Tottenham physically, we outplayed them going forward. If it wasn't for an inspired performance from Vicario, Tottenham's Italian goalkeeper, Chelsea would have gone on a rout. We'd have scored tons. Vicario made tons of saves. Chelsea were magnificent. And then against Carabao, with not necessarily a full-strength side, because rotations, there's the word of the week, it was abject, feeble, no energy, no urgency, no speed, apart from Esteval. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So when I build my Chelsea 11 in this preview today against Wolves, I'm contemplating what I want this to look like. How do I think this is going to go? And to be fair, right, part of me is thinking, well, we need to just go 100% full strength. But I'm also taking into consideration Enzo Maresca's comments that he made post-Carabao about Caicedo needing rest, Enzo needing rest, Malo Gusto needing rest. And bearing that in mind, I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, then he's put Chelsea's captain Reece James out there for the Champions League. Never going to turn my nose up at that. But maybe it's now about bringing Malo Gusto back into the team against Wolves. Maybe this is the time to rest Reece James and be like, right, that's another November international. He's been fully fit all season. He's been fully fit all year, by the way, Reece James. And we can bank another month of football in for him. Going into the Christmas period where things are going to get serious. Post-international break, Chelsea have got Burnley. Then we've got Barcelona and Arsenal in the same week. If that's not the biggest week in Chelsea's European football recent history, I don't know what is. I think there's not been a week bigger since the Champions League final, if you don't take into consideration the Club World Cup. Barcelona and Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. That is the test of where we're at. That is the test of where we look at the Club World Cup win, the Conference League win, end of last season. We can keep referring to these things, right? But Chelsea's where we are now, the answer to that question will be there as a result of how we perform and what results we get against Barca and Arsenal. And the next two league games are so winnable. Wolves at home, as I said a couple of minutes ago, this is non-negotiable. There's nothing anyone can tell me that would suggest that we don't and shouldn't win this game, okay? And then Burnley away, not an easy fixture. Chelsea should be winning that. No excuses. And with the Premier League being the way it is right now, everything is very close. Beating Tottenham, we could have either gone into the bottom half of the table last weekend, or, yes, we're still, 7th in the league, 8th in the league, but we could be in the top 4 again by the end of this weekend. And listen, I'm never going to celebrate top 4 as a trophy, but we also cannot shy away from facts. Chelsea have to be in the Champions League, not only because it's the elite competition, but financially, it is paramount, essential, pivotal that Chelsea end up in those positions. And the best way that we do that in an inconsistent league is be consistent. So without any further ado, we are going to go ahead and build my Chelsea starting 11. And we begin with a very much in form Robert Sanchez as the goalkeeper. Right now, I don't feel like there's any pressure on Rob Sanchez, and that is why I want to say this. Keep it up. Keep going. No mistakes. Keep the concentration. And I want Chelsea, in this match here against Wolves, to treat this like they're a big team. Now, obviously, Wolves is a relatively big club, but treat this like it is one of the big boys. Go with that same energy. And I understand that, the excuse might be up the sleeve that we had to fly to Baku, fly back from Baku, play on a dreadful pitch and draw against Carabao. I don't want to hear it, okay? Rob Sanchez in goal, I'm growing in confidence when I watch this guy play now. I think he's doing very well. I think his claims in the box are really good. I think when he's under pressure now, we're seeing less of those weird salmon dives left and right and forwards and backwards. And we're actually seeing him come and claim it better. Distribution, I'm seeing quick throws, quick rollouts. I'm seeing good kicks up the field as well. All of the fundamentals that you would expect from a goalkeeper that's forced to play the way that we play because of the system. Good. Really good. Shot stopping, never had too many qualms with that from Sanchez. Couple of individual errors and moments, of course. But Robert Sanchez is my keeper. We move into a Chelsea back four, which again is based on the premise of consistency, but also taking into consideration Maresca's comments post Carabao and pre-press conference for Wolves. Unfortunately, with the current recording situation, I wanted to get this recorded prior to the pre-match Wolves presser, so that's why we've not got that in mind here, but I've obviously gone with the idea that certain players won't play. Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella. Last weekend, I loved the performance of this back line. Reece James was in the midfield. I don't necessarily think we're going to need that against Wolves, so I think maybe this is a chance for Reece to be rested. I thought Gusto was on it last week, and this is where I have to have a discussion and a debate with you guys, because I'm a firm believer, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on this. I'm a firm believer that Malo Gusto requires Reece James on the pitch to be a good defender. That's purely from my observations, but I'm going to give Gusto the benefit of the doubt here, because I'm going to put the midfield up on the screen now so you can see the kind of idea as to where we're going to go when it comes to this team build. I've got Caicedo and Enzo in that pivot together. So Malo Gusto, surely this is not one of those where it's like, well, he can only do it if Reece is out there because he's protected more by Reece's defensive solidity. This is Wolves. I don't think we need to invert Reece James into the midfield off the back of him starting and playing the full match pretty much against Carabao, okay? This is the chance to give Gusto his opportunity, and I need to see Malo Gusto put in a top performance. This does mean, when we build the rest of this team, that Caicedo's role is definitely going to be a bit more defensive. If Chelsea do have a lot of the ball, we've got to also talk about the elephant in the room here, which is the way that Wolves are probably going to set up in this game. If you take a look at Carabao in the second half, 5 at the back. Take a look at Sunderland, 5 at the back. Spurs, for large portions of that match too, very defensive. That's the way to play against Chelsea. We know this is going to be a frustrating game of football. No matter how bad Wolves are, this match is going to annoy us. It's not going to be pretty unless Chelsea go on a little early rampage and Wolves give up and throw the towel in. That could happen, potentially. But this is where game management comes in. And this is where I bring up the conversation about Sunderland and the Wolves game that we played against them in the Carabao Cup just over a week ago. Chelsea's game management needs to improve just on the whole. Until we can see week after week, match after match, and we're in European competition, so we quite often get 2 games a week to see the growth, to understand where we're at. We need to see consistency not only in selections, but in performance levels and how we manage the game, right? Because Chelsea go 1-0 up. How many times do we see Chelsea take the foot off the gas and then concede an equaliser, and then the game's in jeopardy? The other team realise that we're there for the taking, set up defensively, don't let Chelsea in, squeeze tight, counter-attack. Chelsea lose. Away team gets 3 points. It's what Wolves are going to try and do against us here. I don't think Wolves have got the same levels of quality that Sunderland have, which was the last home game where exactly what I just said happened. So for Chelsea, if we score the first goal, which you would argue we should do at home to Wolves, go for the second one. Go for the third one. Go for the fourth one. I am pretty desperate at this point to see Chelsea go on a rampage. Not just because I want to sit here and have 6 boxes with 6 different goal scorers. No. I mean that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Yes, I absolutely adore the idea of that. But I want to see us go and kill teams. I want to see us go in and have no holds barred, flipping steel cage, steel chair, mate. Go in there for it, all right? This needs to happen. And Wolves is the perfect game for it. Now, we've got to build the Chelsea attack here. And for me, I think this picks itself. Esteval on the right wing, João Pedro in the 10, Garnacho on the left, and Liam Delap as the striker. Liam Delap, redemption. We need it. He got sent off last time against Wolves, put in an absolute stinker. He needs to come in. He's Chelsea's number 9. I don't want to see any of these Tyreek George experiments. He started the game against Carabao. He didn't do anything. Put Liam Delap up front. He needs the minutes. He needs to get those under his belt. João Pedro, I want to see better. I thought he was really poor against Carabao. I'd argue that's probably the worst I've seen João Pedro play in a Chelsea shirt. But this combination, when Cole Palmer comes back after the international break, there's actually a debate that could be had here about whether or not João Pedro keeps his place in the starting 11. You've got Alejandro Garnacho, who came off the bench against Carabao, and I thought he was really good. I thought the goal was fantastic. I think he's taken it brilliantly. He also nearly won the match in the 92nd, 93rd minute with a fantastic acrobatic effort. At the time, I was like, did he even need to do that? Yeah, he kind of did. He got a lot of power behind that shot. Garnacho, at the moment, there's a lot of talk about him too. Enzo Maresca says, well, not Enzo Maresca, but it came out that he's doing a lot of post-training, extra activity, extra drills and stuff to improve. And I think that is going down very well at Chelsea. I think when he signed for us, my concern was certainly about the mentality. It was about, is he going to be willing to put the work in and actually live up to, having Ronaldo as your idol despite playing with Messi and all of that stuff. Like, I want to see those levels. I want to see him doing that consistently for Chelsea. And I think he's had a good start to life at the Bridge. And as much as I was very sceptical and borderline pessimistic, I would say, about his arrival, I'd actually say I'm very happy with Garnacho. I think he's doing well. And at the minute, Gittins obviously was very poor against Carabao, but was good against Wolves. So maybe you say that Gittins could play this one. But I think Maresca's starting 11 against Carabao, again, talking about those rotations, it didn't work. But I think Garnacho was in mind to start this match against Wolves. Liam Delap up front. Finishing needs to improve. There were a couple of times against Carabao where he should have scored. I think the 1v1 that the keeper saved was poor. I think the shot that he dragged wide, also very poor. But you can see when Liam Delap was out there, as opposed to Tyreek George, Liam Delap moves like a striker. And eventually, this is going to be how Chelsea level up the attack. Because to have a striker who's actually a number 9, who wants to make those runs into the channels, that wants to position himself between those centre-backs so that creative players can find him. I think having Enzo Fernandez in this lineup as more of a deep line playmaker for this game absolutely walks into this kind of idea of being able to feed those balls into Delap. I want to see the link up between Pedro and Liam Delap. We've not seen it yet really at Chelsea. This is the time to do so. Pedro Neto, obviously a player that Maresca is heavily reliant on. He was injured for the game against Carabao, not available. So with that in mind, right, we're all about protecting the players, aren't we? We're all about protecting players so we don't get more injuries. So if Neto was out for Carabao, probably shouldn't start him, should we, against Wolves? So Esteval Willian, this kid's got to play, man. And whether it means that Neto goes on the left, if Neto's got to play, which I understand the defensive work rate, I get it. I like Neto as a player, I do. I think the output certainly needs to improve, and we're 10 games into the season again. And I do want more. But he has got a few assists this season, Neto. But Esteval's got to play. I cannot sit here and keep contradicting myself. I've said it in countless reviews. The man is too good. Stop protecting him now. He's 18. If you want to protect him, keep giving him minutes because then we can keep him. If we're not going to keep playing him, he's going to have his head turned by a move eventually, especially if he's valued, as we found out yesterday, at over 100 million already by the CIES Football Observatory. But listen, it's that time of the video again where I let you know what the score's going to be in this game. 3-0. It's got to be. Please keep a clean sheet. I want to see a solid defensive display again. And the confidence that would grow as a result of that for Fana, Chalobah. They were both brilliant last week against Spurs. I need to see it again, boys. 2 Premier League clean sheets going into the November break, with Burnley and Arsenal to come afterwards, and a huge Christmas period where traditionally Chelsea drop off. We can't afford to drop any more points. At home, let's make Stamford Bridge a fortress again. Let's go out there and batter by far the worst team in the Premier League. If ever there was a team that were there for the taking right now, it is this Wolves team that we're playing on Saturday night. No excuses, none. Chelsea, get the job done, batter them, beat them, and score. Score me goals. 3-0 is my prediction. I'm saying Esteval, Pedro, Delap. Those are the 3 I want to score. Those are the 3 that are going to score. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to GBFC if you are new. And as well as that, we have got content going out all week long, every week on Shootout. It's my channel with Eunice. We film the videos in this podcast studio. And Premier League predictions will be out today. It's usually like nearly an hour long. It's a great little video that we do a strand every single week. So check that one out. See you guys in the next one.